Hey everybody, welcome back to Comic Crow, and we've got to talk about the UK government and how they are reaching out to, as what we know now, TikTok and Rumble, basically attempting to get them to demonetize Russell Brand. Now, to be clear, right, Russell Brand is accused of 4 cases of sexual assault from 4 different women. Only one of them actually lives in the United Kingdom. She's going under the pseudonym Alice. She alleges that when she was 16, Russell Brand and her were in a relationship together. Russell Brand would have been 31 at the time. And Russell Brand, one night, orally raped her. Couple of problems, though. One, and I've been through this before, you don't have to agree to it. I don't like it either. The entire nation of the United Kingdom has their age of consent at 16. It's certainly not something that is 100% accepted there, but also it's not seen as this like great grand crime, or at least it wasn't at the time this was going down. It was just more socially taboo because UK is different from the United States. But the relationship itself was not illegal. Now, the claim of the oral raping, we don't have any evidence for that. There's been nothing at all that Alice has presented to the public or even to this 4-year investigation to substantiate her claims. It's all based on her own recollection of what happened. So essentially, believe all women, take her at her word. And that's all you have. So for a lot of people, that isn't enough. And what the UK government is considering a serious allegation is essentially a claim from an anonymous accuser in which they present literally no evidence to back up what they are saying. Then you could go to the claims in the US. Again, 2 of the women are in the same boat Alice is, except Alice's story has the angle of she was 16 at the time. But they also have no evidence to back up anything that they're claiming. And you have Nadia, one of the accusers, who has one text message of them arguing over whether or not Russell Brand was supposed to be wearing a condom at the time, but it actually debunks the story that's in the article. Like, it heavily contradicts what she claims in the article. So again, the idea that serious allegations is kind of a joke. Now, this is a tweet from Viva Fry with the TikTok letter. Viva Fry is saying this is just a pretext so governments across the world can coordinate with social media outlets so they can silence anybody who is opposing what they do. Now, I don't necessarily think that this is some like big grand conspiracy between Channel 4 News and the Sunday Times and the UK government. What I actually think is going on here is Russell Brand does have plenty of enemies. Russell Brand has been saying things that basically make him unwanted, right? That they don't want someone with his level of notoriety actually speaking to the public. And he said some very damning things about media establishment, governments, how a lot of the money is circulated. There's no denying that. So what I see here is more of a situation where you have the media who has every single reason to see this man's life get destroyed because he largely attacks their credibility. And he's been doing it for years. And then you have the government who's watching this go down, watching this coordinated attack go down against him, and are just like, time to capitalize on the opportunity. And why wouldn't you? Literally, why wouldn't you? They just have every reason to go about it this way. I don't think it was like this part is all pre-planned with it, but I definitely think that as they saw this stuff going down, you had someone in the UK government go, hey, time to really drive the nail into the coffin. So let me read through this letter here, and then we have one that was sent to Rumble as well. But they are largely the same in the first 2 paragraphs. It's at the bottom where it sort of changes. Dear Theo, and Theo is the Director of Government Relations with Europe for TikTok, I am writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context as a user of TikTok with more than 2.2 million followers on the platform. The culture, media, and sport is raising questions with the broadcasters who previously employed Mr. Brand or production companies who employed him to examine both the culture of the industry in the past and whether that culture still prevails today. So my thing is, if they're saying that they're going to kind of like BBC and everything, where Russell Brand used to be employed, because this is when all this stuff was allegedly going down, to talk about, was this culture still happening at your companies? You know, it's kind of nuts to me that this stuff was going down and secretly they all kind of knew about it, but it took a 4-year investigation and all that turned up was one accuser with a text message that doesn't corroborate her story. Still nuts to me. Although Mr. Brand no longer appears on television, he now has a follower base on social media, including on TikTok, where this weekend he republished his preemptive response to the accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches. While we recognize that TikTok is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, and his content may be within the community guidelines set out by the platform, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. So, Russell Brand, basically, the Sunday Times, Channel 4 News, they're allowed to profit off the accusations that they've made against him, and every other media outlet is allowed to profit off of furthering those accusations, right? Blasting out their own articles, contributing to the cancel mob. They're allowed to profit off of that. But Mr. Brand can't actually put up a video on TikTok in which he defends himself, because him monetizing that, you know, we understand it's not actually against your guidelines. We just feel it's unethical. And at the same time, you know what you should really do? You should really consider pulling all of his monetization for every other thing that he uploads to your platform. Like, and you know, based on how it would work here in the United States, if Congress were to send out a letter like this, it would be a giant fucking no-no. But if they did, the goal would be to scare these companies so that they don't get hurled in front of a congressional hearing, right? They don't get hauled in. They're not subpoenaed. They're not forced to come in and testify to things. I don't know if it's the exact same thing with the parliamentary system, but I imagine it's somewhat similar. So putting out this letter is just a way of, like, you know, snapping their fingers in their faces, like, hey, do you want us to do it to you? Do you want us to do it to you? We would be grateful if you could confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his TikTok post, including his videos relating to the serious accusations against him. And they had to keep putting serious accusations against him. They had to keep putting serious in front of it because we all know it's bullshit. But they have to keep saying it's serious. Guys, these are serious. These are serious. These are serious accusations. These are very serious. These are very serious. That's why we have anonymous accusations based on a 4-year accusation, based on a 4-year investigation in which we weren't able to actually provide you with any evidence to corroborate anything being claimed. But we swear it's super duper serious. Oh, man. I do kind of like that. I do. I think it's funny. Am I not supposed to find it funny? I guess not. But, like, this is what I mean. This is why nobody, like, is trusting of modern day media. This is why nobody trusts modern day media, because it's like you did a 4-year investigation in which you turned up absolutely nothing to confirm what you were investigating. All you have are anonymous claims with no evidence to actually back them up. But you spent 4 years doing this. You know, we still don't know who was on the Epstein client list. Do you think 4 years of your time would have been better spent there? I mean, probably. But again, they've been wanting to see Russell Brand's reputation get destroyed ever since he started speaking out against, you know, the vaccines and the pharmaceutical industry. Ever since that happened, because a lot of these media outlets get tons of money from these people too. So it's like, it's been going on for 4 years. They turned up absolutely nothing, but it's not going to stop them from trying to destroy his reputation. Anyways, let's go to the letter from Rumble. Dear Chris, and Chris being the CEO of Rumble, I'm writing concerning the serious allegations regarding Russell Brand in the context of his being a content provider on Rumble with more than 1.4 million followers. The Culture, Media, and Sport Committee is raising questions with the broadcasters. Yada, yada, yada. We read through this part. It's the same as the other email. However, we are looking at his use of social media, including on Rumble, where he issued his preemptive response to the, you didn't say serious accusations. Miss Caroline, you should have put serious accusations here. Now I have no idea if these accusations are serious or not. Made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4's dispatches, we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand. We are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. Of course you are. Because, again, you don't want to just see his reputation get destroyed. You want to financially ruin him so that he can't come back from what you're doing. I understand it. Most people understand it. That's why they're calling this entire thing into question. We would be grateful if you could confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including his videos relating to the serious accusations against him. Oh, you remembered it down here. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. We would also like to know what Rumble is doing to ensure that creators are not able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate and potentially illegal behavior. Yours sincerely, some douchebag from the UK. So, again, it's kind of a joke. Like, it's kind of a joke in the sense that the way they're going about it is so obvious to most people, right? The way they're going about this is so obvious. You're doing it way too fast. Like, again, has it been a week now? Has it been a week? It hasn't even been a week since the article dropped. And look how quickly they've all moved to go after him from every single angle. But it's not funny in the sense that you have governments who look, the UK's got plenty of problems. But you have governments going out of their way to try to get him demonetized on platforms that aren't even based in the UK over accusations with no evidence. Welcome to the new world, everybody. So Rumble put out a response that was actually really harsh towards this UK committee chairperson, and good on them. I'm going to read it out. But essentially, this is what we're dealing with now. This is what we're dealing with now. And Rumble, and this is why a lot of people have moved over to Rumble, because they feel a lot safer and more protected on that platform. Because look how quickly YouTube went about it. I don't have any faith that TikTok is going to stand as some bastion of free speech here. But Rumble was like, abso-fucking-lutely not. And it's disturbing that you sent this letter, because it is disturbing that they sent the letter. Today, we received an extremely disturbing letter from a committee chair in the UK Parliament. Well, Rumble obviously deplores sexual assault, rape, and all serious crimes, and believes that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to a full and serious investigation. It is vital to note that recent allegations against Russel Brand have nothing to do with content on Rumble's platform. Just yesterday, YouTube announced that based solely on these media accusations, it was barring Mr. Brand from monetizing his video content. Rumble stands for very different values. We have devoted ourselves to the vital cause of defending a free internet, meaning an internet where no one arbitrarily dictates which ideas can or cannot be heard, or which citizens may or may not be entitled to a platform. We regard it as deeply inappropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing, given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on Rumble. We don't agree with the behavior of many Rumble creators, but refuse to penalize them for actions that have nothing to do with our platform. So real quick there. The only thing Russel Brand has put up in regards to what he is being accused of is just his response denying the accusations. He does not specifically name any of the accusers. He doesn't even mention the pseudonyms that they are using in the article. He simply says that it is false. And that is the only thing he has uploaded in regards to these accusations. But the minute he did that, I'm sure the UK government was like, well, he's talking about it, so you should demonetize him. You can't allow him to talk about that on your platform. And that's where this whole idea of you can monetize your ability to cancel somebody. You can monetize going after them in this manner, right? You can fully monetize going after somebody with no facts, no evidence whatsoever. You can accuse them of the most heinous crimes possible. But if Russell Brand then tries to respond to what he is being accused of, well, then you say, well, that's not allowed. That's unethical. That's backwards. That's absolutely backwards. You should not be able to monetize serious accusations like this in which you present no evidence, but you're allowed to. But to then turn around and say, but if you try to defend yourself, no. In fact, not only will we pull that, but we want to see every single time you've ever tried to monetize content, we want to see that get pulled too. That's evil. It's disturbing and it's evil. It's funny in how fucking brazen the UK government is about it, but it's disturbing and outright evil. Although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We empathetically reject the UK Parliament's demands, as they should. As they should. Actually, I don't know why I didn't like and retweet this already. But good on Rumble. Again, this is why people feel a lot safer being on Rumble than any other platform right now. Because these other platforms will do exactly what is politically and socially easier for them. They absolutely will. They don't care. Rumble is at least taking a stand. I don't know how long that's going to last for, but I totally understand why a lot of larger creators feel much safer on a platform like Rumble. And maybe one day when we actually have the ability to go and upload on Rumble, because you need a little bit of a following to join them, I'd be more than happy to join that. To join that outlet, because we say things on this channel that kind of go against the grain 100%. I mean, anytime somebody is being canceled over largely kind of like BS allegations, we get a massive hate mob that usually jumps in. In fact, Russell Brand is probably the first time where we've uploaded content about a situation like this, where we didn't see like a really mixed wave with a lot of like angry people going after us. It didn't matter if we turned out to be right later. That initial reaction is usually really bad. But I'm surprised in the Russell Brand situation. I really am. Anyways, I know I shouldn't keep taking shots at the guy. Andy Signor, this is nuts. The UK government is writing letters to TikTok, etc., to ensure they are not paying Russell Brand due to quote-unquote allegations. So Team YouTube once again limits my reporting of it. The only 2 videos this has happened to are the ones on this topic. Please help share the video. Whoa, UK blocking all... buddy. Somebody put out a comment on one of my videos, and they're like, the reason why is because Andy Signor was one of the big channels that put a heavy dent in what was going on with the Amber Heard situation with Johnny Depp. And because of that, YouTube has highlighted his channel as being one of the ones that they need to specifically demonetize. So they urge him off of talking about the topic. Yeah, I'd say that's probably true. I think that there are other channels that if they try to monetize content talking about the Russell Brand situation, that they would go after them just as hard, right? Now in this situation, this isn't as bad as they can make it, but restricting your ability to make money stops you from wanting to talk about a subject. It's probably one of the most effective measures in shutting down conversations about any topic. Luckily for me, my channel's not super large. I'm not super reliant on YouTube income. Like, I literally just came back to the platform. But this will obviously temper a lot of people from wanting to discuss this, because I remember during the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, there were many channels that were covering that stuff hardcore who were like, what is going on? I can't monetize a single video. They had to go through like some extreme lengths to get their videos monetized by like never saying her name like she was fucking Voldemort and taking her out of the titles for the videos so they could get past whatever censor was being put up. I think you're going to see the same thing implemented pretty soon across the board, especially as more people are questioning this situation. Because again, acts like contacting TikTok, contacting Rumble, demanding that you, and when I say demanding, look, someone's going to jump in and go, well, they didn't necessarily demand. They just questioned why they were monetizing them, and why they wouldn't be joining YouTube and doing it, demonetizing them, that is. If a government official reaches out to you asking why you're doing something, 9 times out of 10 it means you need to not be fucking doing it, because otherwise it's not just going to be a question next time. So anyways, guys, you let me know what you think in the comments section below. This whole story is just backwards, topsy turvy. It's getting nasty. It's getting brutal. Do me a favor, share the videos on this channel. Help put out the message. Let's see what we can do to put a dent in what's been going on.